family. Peace, 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 peace. All right. So I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get your day, night, wherever you are, is going to get better once your perception gets better. So I'm gonna tap into self-love and how to start developing it. To me, I believe is a journey. Okay. But before and while I allow you guys to start coming on, I'm just gonna upload another video that I just did on Facebook, and I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. So just give me a few. So I'm drinking this smoothie that I did on Facebook. All right, so I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand your day is going. Hey Tracy, peace to you, baby. Peace to you, peace to you. So in this smoothie, it has mixed fruit. It has some blueberry. We have some almond milk, and then we have some spirulina in here. Okay, so spirulina. Okay, I used to put spirulina in my smoothies before. I used to, like, when I first started doing videos, I would do spirulina, I would do chia seeds, and I would do amaranthus. I think it's called. It's like a seed or whatever. It was called actually ancient grains that I had got from Whole Foods. And I would put so many things, maca powder, just a bunch of different things in my smoothies and stuff like that. And so remember I said that I was going to start bringing smoothies and stuff back. And it's so funny because this video is gonna tie into everything. Okay, I mean, like, getting the downloads from source, from universe, whatever you deem source, or whatever you deem it to be. Okay, you can't get wet from saying water. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, you are the creator of your reality. You are God. And when I say you are God, because I know some people, they have a hard time digesting it, they have a hard time hearing it, because the fact of the matter is, some people, they would prefer to blame something or a deity outside their existence, as opposed to saying, you know what, I am the creator of my reality. And as long as you blame things outside your existence, guess what? Your life is going to continuously be the same exact thing. Okay? God, we have a higher self. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you created the sun, you created all these different things. But what I am saying is, you the creator of your reality. If you don't like something that's showing up in your life, you have the ability to look at your life and say, I don't like this, and I don't like what I'm producing, so therefore I could plant some different seeds. I could plant a different seed. I don't have to stay this way. I'm not a goddamn tree. I can move at any given time. The truth of the matter is, you can move at any given time. Any given time. I use the blue. I mean the green one. I never had the blue, did I? I don't think I ever had the blue. Okay, so let me do this real quick. Let me load this to YouTube. Okay. Oh, you had both. Had a taste, Tracy. Had do the blue taste. The blue probably just tastes like the green, right? Wait, hold up. Did I download it? Just bear with me, family. 1 second. Okay, so um getting into self-love, right? And self-love is an ongoing thing, right? Oh, really? All right, I'm gonna try the blue. I'm gonna try the blue out. Okay. Um. So self love, right? Get into self love, right? You guys have heard me say that if it wasn't for certain relationships, right, that you perhaps was in, it wouldn't make you start understanding that you could decide to be in a different relationship. For instance, right? I remember I was listening to Abraham Hicks, and it was a lady that was on there. Oh wow. it was it was a lady on there on Abraham Hicks. I guess she went to the seminar or something. And the lady, she was pretty much saying that she wished her mother could have loved her in a certain type of way. And one of the things Abraham Hicks said, she said, basically like your mother couldn't give you, pretty much what she didn't have. But the way Abraham Hicks broke it down, it was like so inspiring because one of the things she said was, she said, the reason, you went through that was because, it made you, or it should have caused you to start understanding that it's not, the love isn't coming from outside you, right? And by her not being able to give you that, it it allows you to understand that the love that I was seeking, and because perhaps I didn't receive it from my mother or my father or whoever it was, that now I have the ability from me seeing the relationships that I choose. Because let me tell you something, the relationships that we choose, we decide to get in, they are all reflections of what is familiar to us. So if it's familiar to you, perhaps say for instance your father said he would pick you up, right, when you was a kid, and he never hardly picked you up, and so, or he never was available, or your mother, either one, right? And so now you start attracting people. You start dating, you get older, you start dating, and you see that the guys, hey, Miss Harden, peace to you, baby, peace to you. You see that the guys or the girls that you are attracting, they may have they may be able to trigger you in the sense where as though you like, well, I feel, you may feel like unlovable. You may feel that they not giving you what you desire. You may feel that they never available. You may feel that you gotta always call them and contact them and chase after them pretty much. Well, what tends to happen is, the reason why that is going on is because subconsciously you have something in your subconscious mind of the story that you keep on telling yourself. So I remember I was listening to Miss Iyanla Vanzant, right? And one of the things that she had said was, she said, the people that we attract is pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, they are what we are familiar with, right? So she said, if you have a story that's going on in your mind, right, of how your daddy wasn't there for you, and you are very detailed about the story. Oh, my father, I remember the one time my father, I was 5 years old. I'm just, thinking off the top, just putting the story together as I go, right? I was 5 years old. I had on some pink socks, a white dress, and the white dress had like a pink belt around it. I had, all these different things. Hey, peace here, Mr. DJ, peace here, peace here. And I had like all these, my hair was, it was done. My mother, just did my hair. Right. My mother just did my hair. She put it in pigtails, and the bows, they was pink, they was white, like very detailed, right? And you could remember this day just as if it was yesterday. And because, and then you like, I waited on the porch for my father about, 5 hours. It even turned dark, and my father still didn't come get me. Because you have that going on in your subconscious mind. And when you attract them people, right, you don't say it, well, are you gonna leave? You don't say it like that, but subconsciously, before you get in a relationship, subconsciously, you like, well, I hope this person, I hope this person don't do like my father did. I hope this person is gonna be consistent. I hope this person is a cheater, right? I hope this person is gonna give me love. I hope this is the perfect person. Like, all these different things. And so what tends to happen is you are you are attracting people because what you got going on in your subconscious mind. Okay. And so how do we change this, right? Like how do you start loving yourself more? How do you start doing things differently from what you've been programmed to do? I'm always looking for ways to improve who I am, right? Well, not improve, but how to be the best or the greatest version of myself. So that includes me doing research. That includes me knowing that the answer is always out there, right? That includes me meditating, seeking within. That includes me doing all the different things that I was not necessarily programmed to do. Okay, it's like me doing everything opposite of what I was programmed to believe, to think, and to do. Okay. And so I remember one day I was listening to I don't remember the guy name, Professor something, but I know he had worked with Dr. Sabi, okay, on numerous occasions. And I remember I had came across his video. Actually, he was on Dr. Bobby Price channel, and Dr. Bobby Price was interviewing him and stuff like that. And I didn't watch that video, but I remember the guy because it was a prior video that was on YouTube. And one of the things he had said, right, Professor, I don't know, Professor something. He have dreads and stuff. He's an elder, but anywho, I remember I was listening to him, and he was on someone's show, and he was pretty much saying that it is wrong behavior to look at yourself in the mirror and say you hate X, Y, and Z of yourself. Okay. The reason why it is wrong behavior to say that is because, remember, the power of the tongue. And whatever it is that you dislike about yourself, you could always do something different, right? So say for instance, in a proper way to say it is, I love my body, but I know I can do better. Right now, if you say you hate yourself, or you hate your body, or you hate the way you look, or you hate how your hair is, or you like, if you saying those things, guess what? You're attracting exactly that. Right. So it's no wonder when you get in a relationship that you may get into, that you see that a person may throw up something in your face like, oh, look at your fat stomach, or look at whatever it is, because that's what you already have going on subconsciously in your mind, that you don't like X, Y, and Z about yourself. And so what I started doing was I started embracing, okay? Like even with my gray hair, it was times where I'm like, oh my goodness, hey, Janiyah, peace to your baby, peace to your, peace to your. At times it would be like, I remember one particular time I was on my way. I had cornrows in my hair, okay, and I was cool with it. I was cool with it, okay. And I would wear the cap on my head sometimes, or whatever it is like that, because sometimes I would be like, I don't want people to see the grays and stuff like that or whatever, and I would dye my hair and everything like that. And I don't know if I'm gonna dye it again. I'm just saying, okay. But I remember this one particular day I was getting ready for the gym, right? And I was cool. The cornrows, they looked good, okay. They was just regular cornrows coming down, and then like being 2 knots at the end. So I was good, right? And then I had gotten a mirror to see the back of it or something, because I was on my way to the gym. And it was like all this self-doubt like start coming in, like don't go to the gym like that, take your hair out, instead wear your afro, and all these things start coming in, at once, right? And so what I did was to this is majority of the time what I do. if something comes up for me, I'll make a video about it. Like I put myself on blast. And so what I did was I made a video. I never forgot. I made a video and I said, and the reason being is because to get out of that comfort zone. The reason being is, is to understand that I'm not this body. To understand that I'm so much powerful than this. And so what I did was I had did a video and I said, I'm on my way to the gym and I was about to go to the gym, but I looked at in the back of my head and I seen like all this gray and stuff like that. And I said, but I'm gonna challenge myself. And I went to the gym. I went to the gym just like that, no hat, no nothing, cornrows, still whatever. Okay. And not only did I go to the gym, so Planet Fitness, right? If you ever been to Planet Fitness, like the back area, right? They have like not a long path, but they have like, the workout chairs and stuff that you could bench press and everything like that. And so what I did was to get uncomfortable, I went to the back, like where all the guys be at. I went to the back and I started doing what are they called? Like when you have the bar up over your shoulders and you doing like a not a plank, but so what I did was I can't think of the name of it, but what I did was, so I did about five going this way, 5 coming back this way, 5 going, and I did it until I felt comfortable. That's how you start improving. That's how you start seeing yourself different. That's how you start practicing more self-love. You accept yourself. You accept yourself. And that doesn't mean like, what if I color my hair? That doesn't mean that you don't, it to me it's like, but I can show up in my natural form. I don't need to put the makeup on in order for me to look at myself and know that I'm beautiful. I don't need to do those things. And so when I do stuff, majority of the time is to make myself uncomfortable. To know that I have the ability and I have what it takes in order for me to change my mindset. Because the truth of the matter is you have the ability to change your mindset at any given time. Another thing about self-love is, you start loving yourself, you start spending time with yourself. I remember hearing Dr. Miles Monroe say, he said, loneliness is a manifestation of self-hatred. And some people was, I put the video on here and some people was like, no, that ain't true. That ain't true. Well, goddamn it, if you can't be with yourself, okay, if you can't be by yourself and you don't enjoy the company of yourself, okay, that's what shows up. That's what shows up in the relationships. That's what's, and that's why some people are clingy. They clingy because they don't know how to be by themselves. I never cared for large crowds. Like I never was, and I believe somewhat I get this from my grandmother, because I remember my grandmother when I was a kid. My grandmother, she wouldn't go to hardly nobody's house. Nobody else. Like she'd go to her children's house, but she wouldn't even go there all the time. Like mainly the time she would be, in her house, in her chair. She would be comfortable, like being with herself. And I remember as a kid, I used to ask my grandmother, because as a kid, you like bored and stuff. And I remember I would ask my grandmother at times. I would say, "Grandma, you not bored?" And she would look, and sometimes she'd be looking at her arm and stuff at the light, and she would say, I ain't hardly bored." I remember that. And so, I enjoy, like I say, I enjoy the company I get to keep with myself. I get to spend with myself. Because when I spend a company with myself, guess what? When my children come over, it's like I'm more attentive to them because it's like I could enjoy their company because I enjoy my company, right? So everything that we tend to do is pretty much how we see ourselves, and then the way we see ourselves, that's how we see other people. So if somebody say, oftentimes people will say, like, you beautiful, and I say, what you see in me is in you. Because the truth of the matter, you can't say somebody is beautiful if you don't think you're beautiful. Right. Another step is I would highly recommend you start doing things different. That's self-love too. Evolving. So when I'm getting the books and stuff like that, okay, and I'm reading the books and stuff like that, it's like, I deserve growth. I deserve to evolve. I'm a dope ass creator. And I know I'm a dope ass creator. And I know that it's either create or disintegrate. And so I'm gonna keep on creating because is my ability to do so. And I look at myself so highly that I understand that I have the ability to create whatever it is that I want to create. It doesn't matter how it looks to anyone else, but since I created it, right? That's what matters because I created it, because I did it. And I remember, when I had started stripping myself from, pretty much everything. And I told you guys, my mother, she would say sometimes to me, she would say, Dina, I know, you making videos and stuff like that, but I believe you will get more views if you wore the lipstick and, like you used to do. And I needed to accept myself in my natural state. Right. So, it was like I needed to show up times with my hair sticking up on top of my head. Right. I needed to show up with absolutely nothing, like no fancy nothing, but just showing up with a message. And I needed to go through that. So therefore, it doesn't matter what tends to show up in my life. I'm gonna accept me regardless of what. And by me doing it, I don't care how I come on here. Like I don't think of it like, oh, well, I gotta make sure my hair is, all perfect. I gotta make sure, I'm wearing the right outfit. I gotta make sure. No, it's like I have a message this year, and I just share the message, and whatever comes from there, it comes from it. But it's like I'm the pendulum. Like whichever way it swings is okay. But I needed to go through certain things in order to get to the point where as though I'm just comfortable with exactly how I show up. Another thing, when my two oldest children, I remember this one particular time, we had went to TJ Maxx, right? And I wouldn't really buy my oldest children, like when they was smaller, I would get them, name brand stuff like that. But I wasn't like a huge, like, infested with, name brand. Like, oh, it has to be this name, it has to be that name. But I would indulge a little bit into name brand stuff, right? And I remember this one particular day, because if you got a TJ Maxx, you know that this stuff is like, is inexpensive, okay? So I started shopping at TJ Maxx. I like TJ Maxx. I like TJ Maxx. I like Home Goods. My favorite store would be Target. Okay, I love Target. So anyway, I remember I had went to TJ Maxx this one particular day, and my children, my two oldest children, they just started this new school because we just moved into this apartment, and their school was like, not too far from my house, right? And so this one, but my oldest son, he needed some shorts, right? And so we get into TJ Maxx at this time. I'm like, you are not your name. That was like you are not your name. No, you are, your name is just as good as that designer name, right? Like that was like my whole message. And I would do videos around that and, things of that nature, just basically saying like, you are you and you just as good. Okay. And so I was stripping from everything, name brands and everything like that. It caused me to even come up with my own shirts. And so from me having that mindset, what happened was I got a download to create shirts, right? And with me, I follow my intuition for majority of the times. So I didn't know how to create the shirts, the custom shirts, the custom t-shirts. I didn't know where to go. But then I came across somebody from the same city that I live in, from the same exact city that I live in. They had recommended a place where I could go, right? But I didn't go there. So what happened was, this was the same exact time where, so I was like, you know what? This was the same exact time I got the lawsuit and everything like that. And I was like, I'm gonna go to the school, I'm gonna give the speech to the kids at the school, and I'm gonna have some t-shirts that's gonna say, I forgot the name, but I know one of the things was about the affirmations, like, I will love myself more than I love myself yesterday, right? One second. So this is the t-shirt, okay? And so what wound up happening was, right, I didn't know. Matter of fact, let me put the Do It One t-shirt on, okay? So first off, I'm gonna tell you guys how this came up, okay? So positive affirmations, love myself better than yesterday, right? And I wanted the peace and the heart sign on a t-shirt, right? Just like a symbol of peace and love, because I used to say peace and love, family, right? So what wound up happening was, I had came across Custom Ink, right? And I had came across Custom Ink. I cut the sleeves and stuff. I came across Custom Ink, and when I came across Custom Ink, I was like, oh, I could get t-shirts made and stuff like that. Well, the Custom Ink is they prices, So what happened was, it was a few people that was from our Facebook page who had brought the t-shirts and stuff like that. It was my sister purchased the t-shirt. The guy who I was at the time, he purchased the t-shirts and stuff like that, right? So from there, what wound up happening was, I just wanted to strip. Basically, I wanted my children to detach themselves from wearing someone else's name. And I wanted them to start understanding that their name is just as good, right? So there's one particular time we in TJ Maxx, and my oldest son, he needs some shorts and stuff. So at this time, want to make friends, he was friends with one kid, whatever. He just wanted to be in this group, right? And so when you first go to school, everybody know you as the new kid, right? And the first impression is, what people keep in their mind. So he went to school, he had some Jordans on, he had this American Eagle sweater jacket on, whatever it is like that, right? So since he was associating himself with that title and that name, like, oh, you know what, I got this, I got that, right? So you attract those type of people, because I used to do it too. I used to do that when I was a kid. I remember when I was in an all girls program, when I just went there, okay, and I had some Tims, some construction Tims, and I was like, just young and just and foolish, okay. I was like, damn, people don't have these, right? Like, just looking down on people and stuff, right? And so a lot of the stuff that I talk about, I know it because I've been there. And one of the books that I highly recommend and I talk about a lot is by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Because when you know who you are or who you was, okay, you know why people tend to do the things that they tend to do. So we in TJ Maxx, and he had got these Nike shorts or something, and I was like, we not getting those. And so I knew it was bad because he started tearing up, like, tears in his eyes, and I was like, I know you ain't in here finna cry, right? And he was like really tearing up. And I was like, I'm not getting those. I was like, anything that's in here, we're gonna get the stuff that don't have a name. Because I didn't want him to associate himself with, oh, because I have this or because I have that, that's why I'm good enough. Like, I want my children to know they good enough just because they good enough. I want them, like, the best gift I believe I could ever leave my children. It's not any materialized things, and I'll leave them stuff like that too. But the best gift that I could ever leave my children is letting them know that they the creator of their reality. That they the ones that's creating it. And how would I do that is, by them seeing me create the things that I desire, the things that I want to manifest, the things that I am going to manifest. By them seeing me able to do that and change my circumstances, then it lets them know, oh, if my mother could do it, I know I can. Like, I'm able to give my children inspiration. And that's what counts to me more than anything. And so I remember it was a few times that, my oldest son, he would look at my pictures and he would be like, you remember you was like this? Like, why you don't go back this way? Whereas though I had the perm in my hair and, I was, just a certain type of person. It was like, I felt like everything outside to me mattered. Things needed to be perfect. Things needed to be in the exact type of way. And he would bring it up a lot. Like, he would say, you remember when you was like this? Like, why you don't go back to this way? Like, why you don't go back to get here being this way? Like, why you don't go back to that? Why you don't go back to that? And one of the things, one day I asked him, I said, you remember when I was that way? How did I treat you? That's what I asked him. I said, you saying, you prefer, in other words, he preferred that as opposed to today. I said, but how did I treat you when I was that way? It wasn't the best, okay? The way I would speak to you or whatever it was, so it's not about the outside. And so from me doing the work on myself and seeing like, oh, I wouldn't want nobody to talk to me like that, right? Then I don't talk to my children like that. Yeah, I may yell or whatever, but majority of the time I'm meditating, so I don't get to that place. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm not on here, professing, oh, I'm perfect or whatever it is like that. I'm just telling you the things that I tend to do. And so practicing or doing self-love is about you accepting you, is about you understanding that you could do better, right? Like, we are always, spirit is always seeking for ways for us to evolve, for us to grow, for us to do better. And you always have the ability to do better. It is in all of us, right? And, another way is to affirm yourself. Like the t-shirt says, affirmation today, I will love myself better than I did yesterday. And that just simply means that, I'm going to do things different. Our ancestors knew, right, that each and every day that we supposed to be learning something different. It could be something so small. It could be something so little. But guess what? It's something, right? It's not about the big, you learning like this big thing. No, it's about biting an elephant, taking a bite at an elephant, one bite at a time. And I know that analysis is probably not the best, but it's about that. It's not about doing, and so, and it's crazy because I just posted a video on here about Vision Board, right? And I know some people be like, oh, don't show the vision board. You're not supposed to show it or whatever it is like that. Like, I have so much faith in myself. And this is African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside could do no harm. And on my vision board, right, it says read, okay? It says books. All right. It says research. And I've always been like, just wanting to know. Like just curious, right? And I think somewhere in the Bible, okay, I don't know the Bible word from word, but I think somewhere in the Bible it says, like, Jesus said, you have to be curious like the child or something like that. And so I'm like always in a mindset of like solution oriented. Like I just want to know. I just want to know how can I get better. I just want to know what it is. Just fascinated on the solution, fascinated on the research, fascinated, and it would be times where as though, and I sure I believe because of my grandmother, because I remember, and I share this a lot with you guys, that when I was a kid, right, my grandmother, she would listen to stuff, like programs Like It Is, right, and she would listen to those programs, and as a kid, I didn't really necessarily want to say that, but you ain't gonna turn that TV, okay, right? So you're gonna sit there and watch exactly what the elders was watching. And because of that, and being surrounded, by that, and my grandmother being wise and stuff like that, it created something within me where so I could watch a lecture, right? I could listen to personal development all day long, right? I could do certain things because it's like that part was instilled in me. And so that's why it's like I know that the answer is always out there. And so that would be another way, right? Like start evolving, get in a mirror and tell yourself exactly what it is. Okay. The person that you becoming. Start telling yourself that you love, right? Start telling yourself that you beautiful. Start telling yourself that you talented, that you a creator, that you magnificent, that you phenomenal. Okay? You kind, you peaceful. Start telling yourself these things. Because when you start affirming yourself, at first you don't believe it. You don't believe it because it's the programming that's within you that's going on. So when you start telling yourself these things, it's just like, all right, you start believing it because the repetition of it. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna just do it today and that's it. Another thing is the people that you being around. If they don't see the best in them, get away from them. If they don't see the best within them, stop being around them. The reason I say that is because if somebody don't see the best in them, they never could see the best in you. That's just how it is. So if someone, also people that's complaining a lot, you hanging around people that's complaining, people that's always looking for fault, people that's always saying how they life not working and why this going on for them. Don't be around those type of people. People that's always saying, always critiquing themselves, like, oh, they not beautiful and all this other stuff. Because let me tell you something, when you hang around there, that goes into your subconscious mind. And so you start thinking that you not goddamn good enough. If you hang around it enough, you're going to start looking at yourself thinking that, damn, you ain't good enough. And so you got to be mindful of the type of people that you hang around. I'm not finna be around no one that look at their life and feel like they can't change it. I'm not finna be around no one who feel like that, that they not good enough. I was listening to Bob Proctor the other day, which I listened to him today. Well, I listen to him every day, but I was listening to Bob Proctor the other day, and one of the things he said was he had a friend that one of the things she would say she said I don't hang around nobody who don't think I'm special. And he and then Bob Proctor said, "Whoa," right? And he said, so the lady went on and she said, yeah, because if they don't think I'm special, they clearly don't think they special. And one of the things Bob Proctor said was he said he hang around all the friends he had, they all know how special they are. So therefore they see the special in him. Also, you hanging around people that's telling you, that's belittling, they trying to belittle you, or they saying all these different things, saying you're not good enough and all this other stuff. Like, you don't hang around them. Now let me say this, okay? Because there's a such thing as structured criticism, right? Um, and at times people could say stuff. For me, it's like if I keep hearing the same exact thing, then it's for me to take a look at it, right? Like if somebody like when my children they used to say, "Oh, you mean," right? And I could deny it. I could say, "What? I'm not mean," right? Or I could say, "You know what? I heard this a few times already." Okay, so then it's for me to take a look at that and not say no. They don't know what they talking about. They just children, right? No, it's for you to take a look at it. So when but if somebody is just they just all the time they want to critique you every time you come around them. They want to they just looking for ways to critique you, right? Then that I wouldn't be around that. Definitely not. Because every time I come around, you're looking for something. And whatever you look for, you're going to find it. Because that's where your mind is going. So you start looking at yourself like that. So if I could give anything on how to develop self-love or how to start accepting yourself or, how to have or to put yourself on this pedestal or to affirm yourself. One, affirmations. Start affirming yourself. Because what you looking for other people or you want other people to validate you, they're not going to validate you. Because if you don't see that within yourself, chances are you're attracting people who don't see it within themselves. And then they can't tell you something because they don't even feel that way about themselves. And a place to look, right? Love don't have an address. Love is within. So affirm yourself. Meditate. Okay? Put healthy stuff in your body. Okay? Now you may not be, yesterday I had a burger. Okay? I had a burger with cheese on it. Okay? Don't beat yourself up. But you can say, you know what? Yesterday I did that. Today I'm drinking and I'm eating cleaner. Okay? All right? That's what you could do. Read. I always say, it's a saying that I heard and I, adopted this saying, readers are leaders. And on my vision board, I made this vision board years ago, right? And it says leadership. But it also had books on here. And it also have on here research, right? So readers are leaders. And the first person that you're going to lead yourself. Another thing is keep your word to yourself. That's how you're gonna develop high confidence within you. When you keep your word to yourself. When you keep your word to yourself, like this morning, right? My youngest daughter, their father came and picked them up last night, right? And so she left her headphones. And this morning, it was like, all right, what videos I got to do. I was in that mind space, and before I could even, start thinking certain type of way, I immediately turned on Bob Proctor to program my mind, to get my day started. Okay? Because, when you first wake up, how you wake up, that's how your day is going to be. So and self-awareness is key. So when I see myself being in a certain type of way or my energy, right, I always have a choice. I could feed that, or I could do something different. I could look at things in a different limelight. And so that's why I study every day. I study every day. I read every day. I listen to the personal development every day. Every single day I do it. And one of the things I remember Zig Ziglar had said, he said, it was a young man who was in the audience or whatever, at one of Zig Ziglar's seminars. And one of the things he had said, the young man, he said, I listened to this. I think like when he down or something. And Zig Ziglar said, you don't want to just listen to it when you down because you'll miss stuff. You want to, you wash every day. So you want to listen to this stuff every day. Because it's like taking care of your mind. Because if you ain't taking care, somebody else is going to be taking care of it. Somebody else is going to be programming you. But we all have the choice to program ourselves, right? And how we reprogram ourselves by, listening to stuff that is feeding us. Like in a sense where as though it's healthy. You get what I'm saying? Like it makes you start understanding that you could do all things that you put your mind to, the things that you are passionate about, the things that you are in alignment, the things that are inspirational to you. You can do it. And so this morning, with my daughter, one of the things she left her headphones, and I had these thoughts going on, and so immediately I started listening to Bob Proctor. And last night before I went to bed, I was like, I'm gonna bring my youngest daughter her headphones tomorrow because she left them, and I know most likely she's gonna need them for school or whatever. And so once I started listening to Bob Proctor, like I meditated, listened to Bob Proctor, and that's what I use like to shift, right? To shift my mindset. And so I took the headphones and I went to the school and I dropped them off. I kept my word to myself. I said that I was going to do it. It's not necessarily about the headphones. It's about what I told myself I was going to do. And so when I say I don't care how you do it, I don't care if you have headphones in your ear to do the challenge. I don't care, I don't care if your voice shaking to do the challenge. Long as you do the challenge, long as you show up for you, because that's important. And that's how you're going to develop the self-confidence, because you kept your word to yourself. So everything that I do is never about the destination. It's about me following up. All right, so I told myself this, so therefore I'm gonna do this. Right? My intuition told me to do this. Okay, it's not about me getting there and the arrival and how I am. It is about the person that I'm becoming, but it's about being obedient. It's about listening to my intuition. It's about following up on it. It's also understanding that, the universe is always have my best interest. Like, it's not going to allow anything to happen to me. And constantly remind myself that. Because you are what you attract what you are. And as long as you putting out peace and love and kindness or whatever it is like that, not saying, that you may not curse nobody out, because I believe in balance as well. But those are the steps. Like, listen to the personal development. You want to start reprogramming your mindset. You want to start looking at things differently, right? You want to start being around healthy relationships, being around people that are inspirational. You get what I'm saying? You want to start getting in the mirror, telling yourself exactly who you are, right? Telling yourself you may not be there right now, but if you tell yourself long enough, you'll be there in a matter of time. You'll be there. Because it happened along my journey. When I would say, I am confident, I am love, I am peace, I am kind, I am beautiful, I am magnificent, I am phenomenal, I am a creator of my reality. When I would say those things, at first, it's just like me saying them. At first, I was uncomfortable. But the more I kept on saying them, and the more I kept my word to myself, I started seeing, like, when I walk a certain type of way. Because the words that I said to myself and how I kept the word to myself. And to me, reprogram is the best way to start loving yourself, reprogramming your mind. And I told you guys how to reprogram your mind. Get the books, listen to the audio. Because what you're gonna start seeing is like the way you look at yourself is going to change. Like I don't know. Like you just, well, I do know you just become such like an inspiration. It's like, oh my goodness, I can be, do, have. And that's all what was going on in my mind. Like, oh my goodness, I could, it just, it's like one video, I listened to one video, I feel so good. I'm like, oh my goodness, I like this. Let me listen to another video. And before I know it, the videos is just going, 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 going. I'm listening to the videos and I'm feeling good. Okay, I'm looking good. Okay, I'm putting out good. And then it just keep on going. I keep on going. Then I'm getting the books. And then it's like, oh my goodness, this correlates to this. The video said this, the book saying this, right? Synchronicities coming left and right. And then I'm just putting the work out and stuff like that. And voila, before you know it. Right? So it's not about you looking in a mirror and saying, oh, I hate X, Y, and Z. It's about, you know what? I accept myself. But I know I could do better. You 40 pounds overweight, I know I can do better. And you start taking those steps. You start taking the steps, whether it's you make a smoothie today, whether it's you walk around the block or whatever it is. And yeah, you're gonna be afraid. Why? Because perhaps you was doing things emotionally, right? So you was allowing your emotions to get the best of you. So now you're gonna do something different. You override in a program. Okay, and when you override in a program, instead of you going to them chips because you frustrated, now you may go to a cucumber, or now you may journal, write down exactly how you feel. Oh, I feel X, Y, and Z. This is what's showing up. To get your emotions out, to look at it the way it is, to look at things, well, not the way it is, but the way your perception of it is right now. And so I hope that helps somebody. The truth of the matter is, you have everything within you. Everything. You don't need my videos. Like I never want to come on here like, oh, you need the what? You don't need no videos outside your existence, right? I listen to the videos, okay? I love listening to the videos, but the truth of the matter is, you need to start tapping in within, right? Majority of my downloads comes from tapping in. I listen to the videos. I do get ideas from the videos and stuff like that, but majority of this stuff, it comes from when I meditate and when I'm in the bathroom, and it'll come from a video or whatever. But I tap in. You gotta. It's like you could hear something. One of the things I remember hearing Kevin Tredone say, he said, successful people, what they tend to do is they get advice, right? They get advice from people, from like a lawyer or whomever. But what they do is, at the end of the day, they check in with themselves. At the end of the day, they check in with themselves. And so that's what you want to use discernment, check in with yourself. Because your higher self never is going to forsake you, is never going to lead you astray. And I remember hearing rapper B.O.B. say this. He said, you're not going to need nobody outside your existence. He said, because everything is already within you. You're not, and that's what really, that's what I really needed to hear, for somebody to say, you're not going to need no one outside your existence. Because up until that point, I've been programmed to believe that everything comes from outside you, right? You go to the church, whatever, you got to get the word from the pastor, the preacher, or, or you looking for love, you got to get it from the outside. Just been programmed that way. And so when I first heard him say that, I started making the connection like, all right, yeah, because, people did, they was telling me all this stuff, but what they was telling me, I tried it, whether it was family members or whomever, I tried it, and none of that worked. Like, it ain't worked for me. Like, the stuff they told me, that did not work for me. And so when I heard him saying, rapper B.O.B. talking something completely different, I said, you know what, I'm going to try it. With the meditation, I didn't even know how meditate. I didn't even know if I was doing goddamn meditation right. But I was eager. I was so eager. I was so eager that I went on YouTube and I said, you know what? let me do a guided meditation and let me see how to meditate. And then after so many years, I came I heard Dr. Wayne Dyer say, you can never, there's no right or wrong way to do meditation. And I said, what? Like, where was you, all them years when I was, when I was practicing meditation, thinking, oh, maybe this not the right way or whatever it is like that. But there's a such thing called divine timing. And everything that we tend to get, like our intuition, right? To me, I believe this is like a faith-based system, right? So when I listened to Rapper B.O.B. and he said meditate is a part of me. All right, Dina, now are you gonna do something different now? Like, are you gonna, if somebody is telling you everything comes from within, are you gonna just keep following the programming that you know clearly isn't working, or are you gonna take the step out on faith and then meditate and not even know if you're doing it right or wrong? But because you apply yourself and because you believe, okay, you showing up. And that's what I did. I just showed up, kept showing up. And I kept on doing it, kept on doing it, kept on meditating. Until to the point where, as though when I heard Dr. Wayne Dyer say, you can't mess up meditation. There's not a right or wrong way. And so to the person that's out there probably never meditated before, I would say, if you could put your timer on for 2 minutes, close your eyes, breathe in and breathe out, 2 minutes. And yeah, you're going to be thinking all these different thoughts, okay? You're going to be thinking all these different thoughts. Don't try to stop the thoughts, okay? Because the thoughts, you can't stop them. So you're going to be thinking, all types of stuff. But every time you start thinking something, bring your attention back to the breathing. And that's how you will start paying attention, being mindful or whatever of the breathing. I know, what is his name? The Power of Now. Eckhart Tolle. One of the things he talks about is the power of now. But he also talks about like, mindfulness, like that's not good or whatever it is like that. But for me, it's like, when you breathe in, you just, instead of you paying attention to your thoughts, it's going towards your breathing, right? But it takes some getting used to you doing it, because even sometimes when I meditate, sometimes, my thoughts are a certain type of way. But the more I do it, and the more I am aware of it, that's, then therefore I could pay attention more to my breathing as opposed to that. So like-minded individuals, okay? And when I say like-minded individuals, you inspired to be more than what you are. You inspired to be a better version of yourself. So you want to, be around people like that, okay? People that's uplifting, empowering. You want to be around people like that. Affirm yourself, get in the mirror, tell yourself, accept who you are, but also know that you could do better, right? We are always looking for ways to do better, be better, to grow, okay? I'm trying to think of other stuff. That's what I have right now, okay? So with that being said, I love you guys. Make sure you guys are rocking out, believing in yourselves. Do understand your life is going to get better once your perception gets better. Understand that you are capable, you are able, you have to be willing. Understand everything is the way you see it, but you could also change the way you see it. Do get reality is not real. Reality is an illusion, okay? You could change your life in an instant. It's all according to what you say you want for yourself. And with that being said, I believe in you because I believe in me. I catch you guys later.